Yeah, all right, everybody. Thank you again. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the finances, and I'm gonna go over some checklists that I have, some checklists that'll help you before closing, after closing, setting up your Airbnb checklist that you can share with the cleaning folks, and monthly breakdowns, cost breakdowns, examples of payout that you would get from like Airbnb, and the other systems would be pretty similar. So, before we actually get into that, I want to, like I always do, ask that everyone, leave a comment. Let me know if these videos are helpful to you. If there's information that you're not hearing on here and you would like to, um, hear about, let me know. I could probably put something together. Or if you have any questions, go ahead and ask those questions in the chat and I'll get back at you. All right. I appreciate the love. Like the video if you like it. I'm here for you guys, man of the people. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So, one of the first ones we're going to look at here is my first property. Closing information example. So, if you're someone who's going to close on a home for a first time, an investment property, and you trying to understand how much it would cost you and what some of the breakdowns of closing looks like. Here's a bit of an example here, just a little summary. Closing information. Cash at closing for this deal. The home that I purchased cost $109,000. This home was purchased in a small town called Sherrill, South Carolina. As you can see, we went ahead and had to pay 52,000 at closing, almost 53. Our interest rates was 3.6. Definitely before the high interest rates started kicking in. The loan amount ended up being 59,000, and then the principal and interest you can see here was 273. Our taxes, insurance, 133. So basically, our monthly payments for that home, as far as a mortgage goes, is $406. Pretty nice, right? I mean, like I said, we put pretty much half of the money for the closings. We were young investors at the time, so probably didn't need to put that much down, but that's how much we ended up putting, and this is how much our monthly mortgage and other costs. We'll get into the other costs later, so you can see what it looks like to actually operate an Airbnb. I'm gonna move this over to the end. And let's move this. So the cool thing about this, if you get this session, I will give you this workbook for you to use. You can use it for your business to help you start with a template, and you can go ahead and make changes so it can fit accordingly to yours. All right. So here's another question that people always ask me. Well, with Airbnb, how does it work? How do I get paid? So here's an example again of a home that I owned here. And as you can see, I'm charged for $73 a night, 91 nights. This was a travel nurse who actually was there for 180 something nights because they actually renewed their contract and stayed for 6 months' time. The cleaning fee is 150. One thing I'll tell you about my cleaning fee, um, it's for the actual cleaners, and I actually built in the money that I will owe to the property managers to each booking. So I either figure out what that looks like, if it's a percentage or if it's um basically one-time fee. Sometimes some property managers, instead of taking a percentage, they just basically take a certain cost. Okay. You can see what the guest service fee that Airbnb charged this guest. So this first section here is really just looking at the charges that the guest is paying. So this guest in total for that 91 days paid $7,540. All right, and I actually put here just some notes for you to see. Here's what my payout looks like. So at 91 nights, the fee is $7,576. There's a cleaning fee, the 150. So that basically cancels out this 150 because it got, well, they paid 150 and the 150 goes here. But this 150, like I mentioned, goes to the cleaning crew and the property manager. Monthly fees, I was up there, right? This was one of my first customers. So one thing about Airbnb, I did select giving them, a discount, 20% discount for the first three. And whew, they saved them a pretty penny here. Their host fee. So basically, when people ask, hey, how much does Airbnb take from me when someone books on each booking, it's 3%. So 3% of the payout here will go to Airbnb. And this is what the guest has to pay. Right. So this is where when I talk to folks about what's my favorite platform, I usually tell them Furnish Finders. Why? Because when it comes to Furnish Finder, you basically write up a like a standard lease agreement, but I'll just change the terms, letting it known if it's a 91-day stay or 180, whatever it is. Mention the cleaning fee. If there are pets, I'll add information about the pets and whatever fees. I do charge a security deposit for pets, a refundable one and a non-refundable one. So the non-refundable is the one for the stay, and the refundable is you'll get back once I know that there are no damages done to the property. Right. So, like I mentioned, I like to use Furnish Finder because I help the guests avoid paying this, and I avoid paying this, and the discount, we can work it out. Okay. So this is what a typical payout looks like. It's very similar to verbal. Again, the verbal fees are a little bit different. Um, so when you sign up for verbal, you can see in the settings when you're setting it up how much it costs to actually the cost and the fees that you would have to pay. All right. I'm gonna get down to some monthly costs. This was just a little spreadsheet that I put together when I was uh, getting this home, just to kind of understand different costs. All right. So it's very, 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 very important to understand your costs. You want to put it down. Costs do fluctuate. Like something like AC in the winter, it's probably going to cost a little bit more because you're running the heater versus, in the springtime or whatnot. So these are things to understand, to put down so you can understand your patterns. There's seasonalities to things, right? The amount of revenue that you get, because there are peak seasons and there are down seasons. Same thing happen with your costs where you may pay for something like electricity, and it may cost a bit more certain times of the year than others. So it's good to keep track of this stuff so it helps you plan ahead. You'll start to see patterns. All right, and here's some of the things that I just put down here to help with understanding what's going on. The month, the year, so you can see I just pretty much put it out for 360 months because that's how long the mortgages I typically leverage my homes. Cash rollover, if there's any cash that's from the last month after all my costs that's rolling over, I put it here and to understand if I'm at a negative or a positive. The rent and income. This is basically the money that I received from the guests. So once the guests have stayed the night, Airbnb typically pays out a couple nights into the guest stay. Even if the guest is staying a day or if the guest is staying a month, you typically see it 24 hours after the guest has checked in. Um, so I want to see what that looks like. So we'll put that in for the month. So at the end of the month, you can go and just consolidate the information and put it there. If there were any security deposits, I put it in a separate line because security deposits are refundable. You want to try to set you up escrow type of account so you can put that money in there, and when it's time to give refunds, you refund it back to the guest. All right, some of the monthly costs. This is basically the sum. As you can see, I have some equations in there for folks, so you'll be able to just enter in your costs and you'll see the sum up here. In this case, the monthly cost was 1576. Some of the breakdowns that I have here, you may not have all these costs, but it's there for you. And if you need to add on, again, you can just go ahead and add a line. I'll just show you real quick. I right click it, hit insert, and it'll add another line into the workbook. All right. I will delete. All right. Oh, by the way, so right now, if you wanted to insert, if I were to double click this, you'll notice it only goes up to here. Like I said, if I add something, you want the arrow, you want to point your arrow here to where you see the two horizontal or two slanted lines and just pull it. Oops, sorry. And just pull it down one more, just like that. And now you just added G23, that new line. All right. We'll just delete it for now. This is just, again, to show you guys how to add on to any cost that you notice is not on this sheet. I have the mortgage, property manager. In this case, one of the properties that I have, paying them 10%, utilities and gas, your lights, internet, water, lawn. Now, there's some homes I noticed when I, paid for utilities, it include all the lights and just everything. So breakdowns may be different depending on what city, how this town has it set up. Like I said, lights, internet, cable. One tip that I'd give: cable. A lot of folks like to stream now. You may be able to get away with not having cable nowadays. I actually do that in a lot of my properties, save that money. Like I said, most people are streaming. So, again, it's up to you how you want to set up your property. That's just a tip to you. Water, lawn. Of course, you want to make sure your lawn is done. There's nothing worse than having overgrown grass. If you're in Florida, you know during the summertime, that grass is basically growing the day after you cut it. Exterminator service. Of course, you want to make sure you get them coming in. Um, you want to have cleaning service. Oops. That cleaning service. Again, you'll be charging for cleaning service monthly. Just get an average of how much that would be. Again, this line here, B, is just an average, my plan. And then here, everything else is the month. So just in case I didn't mention that, but here's my plan. And here is what I'm doing every month. So you get an idea what your costs look like. So you'll know if you're going above plan, below plan. And if your plan looks like it's a different number, you can readjust your plan to be more reflective of what's going on. Again, these things are important so you understand. All right. You're trying to run a business now. When you run a business, you need to understand your numbers. All right. This is probably a beginner's worksheet. I would advise, if you are planning on scaling up, you may want to go ahead and hire an account. Right. There's nothing better than doing things the right way. Because if you're not doing it the right way, then IRS will come and get you. And that's not what you need in your life, right? Trying to start a business, trying to do it the right way, and you just want to be a successful entrepreneur, right? All right. With that being said, we got other miscellaneous costs. Things happen, window home inspection. So that was something that happened there that, had to add in there. Extra principal payments. So if I were to pay any extra principal payments for the month, I'll go ahead and put that in there. Handyman, any type of services that happen during the month. Again, this is why I always preach to people, always try to keep a reserve, because costs do come up out of nowhere. So I always try to keep a reserve somewhere for the handyman. Mailbox. I opened up a UPS mailbox to get my mail sent to me as a business. And deposit refund. So when I had to refund a deposit, I just put it whatever month it fell upon and give it back to the person. And then bottom line, and then you go from there. Right? That's your profit. That's how much you end up making for the month after all your costs. And that number will roll over to up here. You'll notice this profit rolls over to here, etc. Okay. So this is a pretty cool workbook that everybody will know what's coming in. You'll know all your different costs in between, and you'll know what your bottom line looks like when it's all said and done. And you can always compare it to whatever your plans are. And it's something that you can use for yourself and help you plan out your business. All right. So some of the cost breakdown, again, we just went through everything here. I just kind of defined it for you so you can see some notes and details what those stand for. All right. I actually added some rule of thumbs here. There are fixed and variable costs. Items like power or water will fluctuate depending on use. Rule of thumb will be to save $2,000 before paying yourself. and again, it just depends how you want to do business, right? I really don't pay myself too much because I'm trying to build assets. I'm trying to build wealth. So I'm reinvesting money right back into it because that's just the way I want to run the business. All right. Miscellaneous costs. Look at this. When we first opened up one of the homes, we immediately had to pay $2,000 for um, water filters because that home uh, is well water and it gets off in the water and has a very, very bad odor. So these were just some of the miscellaneous costs to keep track of. All right. When it comes time to closing a home, there is a bit of a timeline. For the most part, most of my homes close in 30 days. And this is just an example of a timeline of some of the things process that has to happen in order to close. Executed day, that's when the contract and offer is accepted. Binder escrow deposit, the earnest money. All right, that starts the binder and that lets the seller knows as a buyer you're serious about it. Loan application deadline, turn that in to the finance folks. Home inspection deadlines is very important. You need to go ahead and get the homes inspected to make sure that no surprises happen. Now, if you got cash and you know what, it is what it is. You're just trying to fix and flip. It's up to you, right? Survey date, surveys due, different surveys we have to do for the financing company, title work due. Again, we did this around the Christmas time, so there was a bit of a gap. Set up utilities. So for my end, I need to go ahead and get things going on. Call the local utilities companies and get things going. Give them a date of when we're expected to close, and then the closing date. All right. So give or take, it can be 30 days. If you're coming with cash, of course, you can make it done or you can get it done quicker. If you're coming with different type of loans, there are different loans that may extend those closing dates. So if you stay on top of things, things should happen when, in order. But, there are ways to extend if things do, I guess, fall out of plan. So this is just an example for your record's sake. All right, so I also put together some checklist items so that you keep you organized, right? So once you've opened your first one, and you get these things organized this way with checklists and everything, the next one becomes a lot easier and so forth and so on. So it becomes a process that you put together, and now you can just take that process and drop it onto the next one, and then it becomes very seamless. And when you do have that process and that routine, you'll notice when things are off, right? Because you know how it's supposed to go, and when it doesn't go that way, you quickly notice it's off and you become more efficient at addressing the issue. Right. So this is like a pre-closing activities prior to the closing of a home. You'll set your closing date, your binder fees, inspections, appraisals, submit necessary documents to complete title, loan process, get the home insurance. Right. As closing dates approach, make sure the power is on. Schedule date to turn on the cable or internet. Cable. Let me change that for you. So cable slash internet is probably it's one of the most important things to have in a home, right? And just don't go cheap with the internet. Get good internet. Internet is just lifeline to folks nowadays. So you want to make sure you have something that's very good, serviceable, because people will complain very quickly if they do not have good internet. You got to think about it nowadays. A lot of people will rent an Airbnb just to go work, or they'll kind of do a workcation or, kind of a hybrid. And so if the internet's not working, trust me, you're not going to get a good review. Find a property manager and agree to the terms. Go in there, find your little property manager. You can do it yourself, but my suggestion is always to find a property manager. Speaking of property manager, right here is a website. If you're in the South Florida area, of a property manager you can use. If you're planning on opening an Airbnb and you want to make it as passive as possible, go ahead. I would recommend you sflapropertymanagement.com. All right, find a cleaning crew. You may be able to find a property management that'll do all everything for you if it is a full service property manager, which South Florida Property Management does offer. But if you're able to find that, that's good. But for some people, they they figure out ways where they could do and make costs a little cheaper for themselves and be able to hire their own cleaning crew or handy people. You want to go ahead and put a team together if you're going to do that. All right. Start your rental start your sorry about that. Uh, Start your rental property listing on Airbnb, verbalbooking.com, uplisting, whatever platforms you want to use. Go ahead and start putting it together. Now you can't officially publish it until the closing of the home. So if you have a property and you're going through the closing, you cannot start putting it up there just to say, hey, I'll start conjuring up reservations in the meantime, because who knows what can happen. Something could fall through, and then you have people booking the property, and next thing you know, the deal falls through. You're not able to get the home, and now um, you can't even keep your bookings, and you would have to call people and cancel, and that would just be terrible. So make sure you get it started, but then once you're ready to publish, wait till the closing's done, and you can do that. Start searching for furniture. You can go on places like OfferUp. You can go on Facebook Marketplace. You can go buy new furniture, local places. It just depends what you want. I found that I could find furniture in all different places. So we have, as far as the property management go, we have different options, and I'm just sharing some of those with you. And then go through checklist items uh, to put in the house. So again, you're going to buy a lot of products. Again, you're building up these homes, these Airbnbs, as if you're going to stay there. So you need to make sure you have a checklist of the items that are needed. All right. This again, I'll move this over a little bit here. Let's go on the after closing checklist. So the closing's done. Um, what's going to happen? You're going to wire money, closing costs to a title lawyer. You're going to sign the closing documents with your lawyer, with your real estate agent, maybe even your lawyer, your real estate lawyer, and the sellers, lawyers, and their representatives as well. And then the big day happens. We finally received the key. Congratulations, your uh, your investment property is officially yours, and you're ready to get it going. So after the closing happens, you want to go ahead and have a nice, thorough, um, you know, clean of the house. Make sure everything's good. Scrub floors, sanitize, do whatever you need to do. All right. Go ahead and rent your U-Haul, or if you got a moving company, get that going so that you can go around, get your furniture, or if you have furniture being delivered, just be ready to start moving that stuff in. Like I said, pick up and set up furniture. You take a week or so, or however long, get that furniture going. Maybe if you want to do it quicker, so you can start making money immediately, just have yourself ready. Get a handyman. You probably did an inspection, and there were things that could definitely use some touch up. Share that with your handyman. Get those things fixed. Make sure that everything is safe, secured, and ready for someone to stay in there. Install a doorbell camera. This is big. All right. You need the doorbell camera. You need to have access, have eyes. Make sure you know what's coming in and out of the home. If people are sneaking in pets, if you have a no pet policy, you can catch them, and whatever your charges are, if they break the rules, you can enforce it. Airbnb needs evidence. It's your word versus the customer's words. Your words are stronger when you have video evidence of what's going on. So go ahead, get a camera. If people are trying to get more people than allowed into the home, you can call it out. If again, these are things you put in your description, your costs. If people are going to violate these rules, let them know there will be a penalty. There will be a fine. It's there in black and white, and there are no obscurities. And, you know, that's what you just have to do. Add wall art. Again, you don't want to go too crazy with it. My saying is just keep it as simple as possible. You want your home to be neutral so that it attracts just anyone. You don't want to uh again, well, that's just my approach to it. Now you can have a theme in which that's what you want to attract, and that's your niche. That's up to you. But I like to go and have as many suitors as possible because I like my chances there. Ensure that the cable and the internet is on. If you do have cable, if you do have internet, make sure everything's on. Make sure that the power is working. Have to get it all set up. I mentioned the internet again, and I mentioned cable again. So in this case, I am going to actually turn off the. We already are ensuring that it's on. Just double checking. All right. All right. Your Airbnb checklist. So this list here is breaking down everything you want to have in your Airbnb. To me, these are just basic necessities that most customers are looking for when it comes to the Airbnb. The bedroom, of course, you want to have a bed, bedside table. A lot of people need to charge their phone. A lot of people like to keep their books there, their glasses, etc. Have something next to the bed that they can actually put their items in, and make it to where uh, the charger or the plug outlet is accessible. If the plug is in the middle and it's hard to reach, people are struggling to get to it. Again, these are small little inconvenience, but if you can get an extension cord out there or whatever, trust me, that goes a long way to helping the customer and making things easier. I usually put a drawer in there because some people like to unpack their stuff. They don't want to live in their suitcase and put it into the drawers. Hangers. If you have nice clothes, suits, or whatever you want to hang, I put hangers in there, almost like a hotel, right? You kind of want to have some of these things that a hotel has as well, right? Because you are the alternative, and you want to make sure you have at least bare minimum what they have over there. Pillows, you want to get different sets of pillows. Put some in the closet if you need to have extras or whatnot. Sheets. Again, I mentioned extras. You want to have enough sheets for the beds and extras, so you can rotate these things, and the cleaning crew can just rotate while they're cleaning others. Wall decor, simple, nothing too much. Again, that's just my approach to it. Table decor, not too much. Maybe one little simple painting of something, or a flower and rose, or sorry, a rose in a pot. You know, blinds. People want privacy. People want their rooms to be dark when they wake up in the morning. So I suggest putting blinds. I guess you could also put curtains, but I typically go the blinds route. A mirror. People want to see themselves when they get dressed or whatnot. In the TV room, living room, sorry, you want to put a TV. Folks like to watch TV. I didn't have TVs in the bedroom. You can also add a TV in each bedroom if that's what you desire. Some people don't put TVs, some people do. It is up to you. If you want to, you can add TV on your list. TV, a couch, of course. If you're going to make your place big enough or allow six people, you want to make sure you have enough seating for six people, right? You don't want to say you allow six people and then you have a three seating couch, right? So, whatever you get in the living room as far as seating arrangements, just make sure you can accommodate the amount of people you're advertising your property for. A coffee table. People want to put their things down, whether it's a coffee table, or ottoman, or something. You want to have that while they're drinking their not only coffee but whatever it is that they're drinking on. I put a rug. You don't necessarily have to put a rug. That's just something I do. That's why I have it up here. A side table. Maybe you're gonna have a lamp there on the side table. Don't need it. That's just something I put in my homes that I have there. Wall art, simple, nothing too much, and I put it over the couch. Blinds again. I want to be able to close it out. TV stand. It's up to you. Maybe you prefer to put the TV on the wall, which is something I've done recently, and just putting them on the wall. It gives more space to the home, and it doesn't look as clutter. Dining room, of course, you're gonna need your table, need the chairs. People need to eat. Just fill it out the size of your home. I say try to make it. Don't get anything that's too big if your home is small. You don't want something to just clog up an area. Figure out what the size of your home is and try to get something that fits just right. Table mats, for your tables for the people to eat. Some decor, if anything, wall art over the dining room, salt and pepper shakers, blinds if you do have a window over. And I typically put my no smoking signs somewhere in the house. I put dining room here, but uh, I typically like to put the signs there. I also on the sign I like to put up there's like watch your step if there are stairs, just to let people know. Just pay attention to what are you doing. Um, cover your butt. And the bathroom, of course, towels. Again, this is based on how many guests. If you're saying you have 6 guests, maybe I'll get up to 12 to 15 towels, so I can have maybe two for each, or towels to rotate, etc. Wash rags, same concept, same number. Floor mat. Some people say don't put floor mats. Maybe what you can do instead is get a towel, just like hotels do, and put it down, because their floor mats have been known for people slipping on them. So you want to be careful with that. Toilet paper, of course. With the toilet paper, we'll get into the checklist. You want to make sure that your cleaning people is rotating those in and out, or refilling. I'm sorry, dispensable soap. You don't want soap bar that someone else used. So you want to get some probably smaller soaps that your cleaning person could throw it away after they're done. You don't want to get full size soaps because again, no one wants to share it. Or if you want, you can buy I guess liquid soap that comes in a bottle that you can hang on in your shower, and then people can use the rag to dispense it in there. Disposable shampoo and conditioner, same thing. Either you get the small ones, or you can get a container in which you can have your soap, shampoo, and your conditioner, and people can use it as a dispenser. If you have any art you want to put up there, you can get it for your bathroom. A trash can, blow dryer. That's something that someone can easily forget, but there are people who like to blow dry their hair in the morning after they wash it. They don't want to leave the house with their hair looking like they just left a rainstorm. I mentioned to watch your step signs. Bathroom is slippery. You want to put it out there. Put it in the front of the home, in front of the stairs, etc. Blinds, if you do have blinds in there, you want to put that up there. Curtains, whatever your preferences are. Kitchen, this list, it's easy to forget things for the kitchen, so pay attention to the kitchen list. There might even be more in here that I ain't even put, but this was a very extensive list. When I first got a home, I had someone ask me, "Where's the measuring spoons?" I'm like, "Excuse me." She's like, "Hey, I love to bake and I need the spoons." So they actually did me a favor and went to Walmart and bought it themselves and kept it at the house. So if you're out there and you remember that, thank you. All right, pots and pans, of course. You want to get a nice full set of pots and pans. People like to cook. That's why they're getting your Airbnb, right? Instead of paying a hotel, they get to come to your home and they're able to cook their meal and, feed their family. Silverware, knives, spoons, forks, the spill. Plates and bowls, regular plates, small plates, bowls. You want to have plenty for your guests. Cups, drinking cups, teacups. People like their tea, coffee cups, measuring cups, measuring spoon. I added that on there, folks. Can opener. Don't forget the can opener. People still, like I said, when they're cooking, they want that in there. Um, Paper towels. You want to have plenty of those. You want to have a storage that you can keep them when the cleaning people can. They could reset it. They could add more out there, or they could replenish it when the time comes. Wine and beer opener. I mean, I think you can crack a beer, but with the wine opener, you can get the screw. Folks like to drink their wines. And then you also have, oh, I'm sorry, the bottled beer. You have where you can open the bottled beers at the same time. Shot glasses. I mean, I don't encourage parties, but, you know, cooking items, spoon, spatula, whatever it is, folks need. A lot of times you can go to Target, Walmart, and buy them in packs, like a set of all the different cooking items that's needed. Knife set, coffee maker. Get your nice coffee maker. You can get the Keurig coffee where you can put them in there and just put enough for that person's. I typically put enough for each day for that person and not leave the whole box out there because believe me, people will take some home with them. With the coffee, tea bags, I leave some tea bags out there as well. You're gonna get a toaster, a trash can, trash bags, kitchen mat on the floor, salt and pepper, cooking oil and vinegar. Yeah. So these are some of the things that again you'll need in your kitchen. Just pay attention um and then what you need. Hold on. I'm sorry about that, folks. All right. All right, outside, I mentioned it before, ring doorbells and cameras. Again, people like to feel safe. That's probably the biggest thing when it comes to these Airbnb type properties. You know, folks want to know that they're safe out there. They chose not to stay in a hotel, which may or may not be safer, but it's almost like I compare it to the Uber and the taxi industry, where when Uber first came out, people were like, I'm not jumping in this car with this person. I don't feel safe or whatnot. I'd rather jump in this cab. When in actuality, you're probably a little safer in Uber because now you have the tracking on your phone. People know where you're going versus a cab where no one had any idea. Not to say the hotels that, like that, but when you do have the security cameras and you can see what's going on. It's easier to keep people safer in that sense. Welcome floor mats. I put those in the front door mats, so people don't bring in the dirt. Electric door lock. The keys, guys, if you do keys, there's a good chance someone may leave with their keys and they'll be flying on the plane to another state. Yes, you can have backups, but it'll get frustrating to always keep on buying keys over and over and over again. So I suggest that you get an electric lock. I use the sledge locks because I can actually program new codes into it. I can unlock it from my phone. So it's to me it's a lot better. And yes, you do get an extra set of keys in case the power runs out, but it's not something that I share with the customers. I just give that to my property manager. And if things do happen where the keys are not working, they can just go there. A barbecue grill. A lot of people like to go there and grill the charcoal and barbecue utensils. So this is just oh, actually I have a little bit more. Cleaning supplies. I like to keep cleaning supplies in the home, even though I got a cleaning crew, but you have people that'll stay there for longer terms, like let's say a travel nurse for like 3 months. You want to encourage them to clean up the home. So in the cleaning supplies, you got the broom, dustpan, swifter pads, bleach, window cleaner, counter cleaner, bathroom cleaner, Febreze, dish soap, laundry soap, dryer towel, and vacuum. So I leave things, encourage the cleaning, and most people will do it. The little miscellaneous things I like to put in there, workstation desk. Like I mentioned earlier, some folks like to come there and actually work in whatever town they're at. So, if they have a nice workstation area, that's nice. Pool tables, depending on where you're at. So a lot of people like to put pool tables, cornhole, a welcome guide. You put together a welcome guide that lets people know events that's going on in that town or activities, restaurants, and any other tips that you can share with them. And I also put board games. Everyone's out there with their family, play a little Monopoly, dominoes, cards, Jenga, etc. All right. And that's basically that checklist there for Airbnb, but it's for any short-term rental. All right. All right, these are the cleaning checklists. This is something that you could print out and have in like a notebook or a binder somewhere for your cleaning folks. So they are going there, let you know that they did clean up or whatnot, and you got everyone could be on the same page, right? Uh, this is what I'm doing. What I'm doing here is I'm saying there's 3 bedrooms. So 1, 2, 3, they can check off for each bedroom. And here I'm saying 2 bathrooms. So what I'm gonna do, so you know how to do it as well now. If I can get this copied, here we go. 2 bathrooms. They can put their initial. Boom, they'll be able to put their initial. So these are just all the little key items that, yes, they should know, but sometimes things happen. Sometimes you can forget. It's easy to do that. The checklists help you so you don't forget. All right. So, go ahead and share this with them, have them sign on it. We're not trying to be overbearing, owners, but we just want to make sure that the next guest is, have the basic necessities. Again, we're here for service, and we're serving people, so you want to stay on top of these things. So you have everything from the kitchen to washing dishes, empty dishes, etc. The dining room, some of the items that they may forget is like dusting light fixtures and stuff like that. Those are the easy things to get. Or in the kitchen, cleaning out the oven, to double check that. I've had guests come in and say they opened the oven. There were things left from the previous guests because the cleaning person forgot to check it, or the previous guest did not clean that themselves. But that happens. In the bedroom, some of the items to do there. Again, they can check it out for each room. If there's more, if there's a fourth room, you can add a fourth one, third bathroom, etc. And then just the date that they came in, the phone number, and just whatever pertinent information you feel you need there, you could add. But again, this is just to make sure that everything gets done in a timely fashion, or whatnot. Again, guys, the cool thing is I'm about to share all this stuff with you all. So these are items that you will also have, right? So you can watch me do a little something here real quick. Just add a little color and some contrast. I'm about to share this, right? Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Let's go here. Like I said, you could print this out and put it in a binder or whatnot, and share it with your cleaning folks. Mhm. These two here and paste it over here. There you go. You'll have a copy for yourself here, folks. And then these are just different costs. It's just, I opened up a home and just wanted to understand it cost us $10,000 to stage this home. Um, but there were different things that went here. Again, this was an unexpected cost. A filter that we had to buy, it was almost 2,000 of that 10,000, almost nearly $10,000. So this is something you may not see. And then other little things like my LLC and the EIN, money I had to pay to actually get those started. Futons, the Ring doorbell, you know, Ross, Xfinity, setting up the cable, Walmart, a lot of Walmarts and furnitures, and you know, to go along here. So a queen set handyman to fix the door closet or whatever. So these are just some of the things that we had to pay for. So there you go, folks. This is a workbook that like I said, I am sharing with you all. It can help you to understand the costs, the revenues, the different checklists, and all these different things that's going to help you start up your Airbnb. I hope it helped. If you have any questions, like I said, please let me know. See my site, folks. Thank you, and have a good one.